Okay, as most of you are going to figure out, this is not a very professional review. This is more of a personal review. I've seen a lot of reviews on the new 2019 Honda Insight. This is their third generation. And most of them are pretty good, and they tell you generally about the car, but they don't get very detailed, and they don't tell you about a driver's experience. I've owned this car for about 3.5 months. I bought it from Charlie's Honda in Augusta. I had very good luck with them, and I highly recommend them. That's Augusta, Maine, Charlie's. And I wanted to go over my opinions on this car and what I've seen. Now, this is the first vehicle that I've ever purchased brand new. Brand new vehicles are generally not considered very good investments. I don't care. I love this car. And I'm going to tell you all the pluses and minuses I've seen. And I'm going to try to give you some details on some of the tech and the way the tech responds. That's something nobody seems to be going over. And how it responds to me. The first thing to look at is you can see the headlamps. Very cool. They look great when they're turned on. And I'm going to tell you right now, they are the best headlamps I have ever worked. They're all LEDs. They light up the road very well. I don't get too many flashes from other people. Occasionally I do. Now, this one being the touring model, it also has the LED fog lamps. They add a little bit of more light, which is nice. These lights also have automatic brights that work very well, making it pretty easy to work with. Now, one thing very interesting to know about the Insight is there's a lot of aluminum involved in it. Now, many people on the Honda Insight's forums have discussed the fact that the hood tends to vibrate a lot when you drive. I have seen this every now and then. The hood is all aluminum, and yes, it does vibrate. And if you go through a car wash, you will find that it will rattle and shake a lot. Don't let it bother you. It won't fly off or anything, but it works pretty well. The Honda Insight Touring comes with larger wheels, which lowers the gas mileage. I've managed about 48 miles to the gallon during warm times. Most of the time, the car runs about 42 to 44 miles to the gallon. Here in the wintertime, it's touch and go. 42 is about right. Now, if you look closely, you'll see that I have these little black things down here. These are additionals. You add those yourself if you want to. You can buy those separate. I think they look very good with the red. This one is, by the way, called Crimson Pearl. Boy, these names they come up with. Fantastic color. I get lots of comments on it. It's beautiful. Standard mirrors. I don't think we need to talk too much about that. That's basic stuff. I don't really need to get into that. Also, I've got the little splash guards back here in the rear as well. Other additions that I added that aren't typical of this vehicle is the rear spoiler, which I think looks fantastic. I bought that separately. Some of these things are going to be offered by your dealer. I don't generally recommend purchasing from the dealer in this case. No offense to Charlie's, but you can get it a lot cheaper online, and they are all original Honda parts. Look fantastic. I'm going to open up the trunk real quick, give you a look inside the trunk. Pretty spacious trunk, pretty filled up with lots of garbage. Yep, I didn't really set up to do this review, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea. Got a little subwoofer in there. We will discuss the premium audio system. It is kind of premium. It is kind of not premium. I will get a little more detailed than that when we get inside the car. Other than that, that's pretty much a general look of the outside. I think it looks very nice. I think the Hondas look very nice overall anyway. I think they're very pretty. I like the fact that I don't have an antenna, that I have that little bump. I don't like those antennas that you have to unscrew when you go through car washes. I don't trust those car washes not to rip them off. One other thing you're going to see over here on this mirror right here, it's this little extra bump right there. That is a rear view camera. It engages when you take right turns. That's just to make sure you can see. It's in place of a blind spot monitoring, which I'm not too overly thrilled with, but we'll get into that when we get inside the car, which is going to be much warmer because it's freaking cold out here right now. Big problem with the big wheels You do lose some gas mileage when you go to the touring because of the larger wheels, more weight because of the electric seats, etc., etc. I would have preferred smaller wheels. These come with Continental tires, and believe it or not, they're not so bad in the snow. I haven't done serious snow driving this car. To be perfectly honest, I hate taking the car out in the snow at all. I don't want to wear it out. I got a big warranty on it, but still don't want to wear it out. Okay, we're going to stop right now, and I'm going to go towards the inside. Starting the recording over right here. In order to open, it's got the obvious keyless entry. You put your hand here, and it opens. I have it set to open all the doors and unlock them all. You can set either way. You know, it's a standard door. I'm not going to go too deep into it. You know, it's got auto windows on the passenger and driver, not in the rears, as far as I can tell. And there's the part of the premium sound system. Again, we will get deep into that. Looking in here, you'll see I have the ivory interior, and I also have this rather unattractive seat cover. One thing you need to know about me is I'm a bit on the cheap side. I wear cheap Walmart jeans, and they are black, and this is white leather, and needless to say, the white leather turns blue. So, if you like your leather, you want to keep it clean, I would say with tan pants or something if you're going to drive something on ivory. Personally, I wasn't going to choose ivory, but I think ivory really makes this car look beautiful. Let's go into the rear here real quick, and you're going to get a picture of me. Yes, I am a very large, ugly white mammal, but this is the rear. There's no heating vents back here. It turns out that the Japanese version has heating vents, which I find interesting. I guess the Japanese get colder. I don't know. I can't speak for that. I also have all-weather mats. Living in Maine, you have to have all-weather mats. If you don't have all-weather mats, you are not going to be a happy camper. You're going to ruin your carpets. Get all-weather mats. All right, we're going to pause now while I get back into the car. Okay, we've now gotten into the car. I love this steering wheel design, and I love the front end. This car tends to welcome you when you come in. I don't know if it's going to do it now. I already did it. Nope, it's not going to welcome me now. Well, either way, it usually plays a little tune. Kind of annoying, but it's not overly bad. With the Touring, you get a leather-wrapped steering wheel. I never cared about leather-wrapped steering wheels, but I'm going to tell you, this one is really soft. I really like it. It is awesome. Really wonderful. Also, over here, you got various hookups right over here. You can turn off your, I forgot the name of it. Well, you know, this is what you get when you got a doofus doing a video. That's your traction control. Turn that off and on. Of course, your Honda Safety Sense stuff. And with this, that's also an added feature you can add on. It doesn't come in the Touring. They're parking sensors, something that is very necessary for me. I think you'll understand because I have to go into a garage and I got a lot of stuff in there, and the parking sensors keep me from smashing into anything. Various other basic buttons. I'm not going to get into that. It's kind of stupid. What I really want to get into is a general look at the tech and how the car drives. We're not really going to do any driving either. I don't have a setup for that. But I'm just going to show you how the settings work, how some of the computers work, and what the dash looks like and how it works. All right, we're going to start it up. And of course, you get your pretty little doodads going up and down. So you can see it's 17 degrees out there. I am not happy about that, but it is what it is. I'm going to show you various menus that are available. I think I have my radio turned off. The last thing in the world I want is some kind of trouble. You see, my average fuel economy is not so good. I've been driving around the city a lot, and they've been short trips, which means the car has been warming up. And when the car is warming up, the engine runs a lot. It has to do that, heat up the cabin. Once that happens, then the car does more hybrid driving and then electric driving. I'm going to show you some of the various menus. As you'll see here, you got your controls. Let's put you into the home so you can switch various menus. We're going to switch back to range and fuel where we're at. You got your scroll button, so you can scroll back and forth through your menus, and then you got, of course, your back button right here. Various telephony and, of course, voice controls. I don't generally use the voice control. I'm not going to get too deep in that. I'd rather talk about things that I've had more experience with. Now, we're going to go through some of the menus just to give you an idea what you got. Here, you've got, of course, you got range and average fuel economy. That little bar will go up and down based on how many miles per gallon you're getting at the time. Fun, whatever. Also down there you have Trip A and Trip B. You can set those to do certain things certain ways. Have Trip A automatically resets itself when you fill up the fuel. Trip B is for the full fuel economy overall, which has been on average, including all these miserable drives in the cold, 40.3 miles per gallon, which I think is reasonably okay. Not the best, but it's okay. You can get much better mileage if you go with the EX or the LX, but it won't have as many features as this car, including leather, power seats. It's even in the EX model, the lowest end model, you don't even get Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Looks like this video may end up being a little on the long side, so I don't know how many people are going to see it, but this is basically for people who just really want to see the tech. So, we're going to go to the home button right here. Next choice I have listing here is navigation. When you're not navigating, just shows that. You can click here. Well, actually, you scroll, and you can choose, go home if you have it set in your navigation, which the touring model has. You can set that so it automatically can go home, recent destinations, calculate, so forth, save places, stop, and save location. We're going to hit the back button to get back here. When you are navigating, it'll show up arrows showing which direction your next turn is. It'll tell you how far away you are from that turn, and of course, it'll talk to you and tell you all about it. It's a nice little thing to have. Car's warming up, thank goodness. It is cold in here. Next, we're going to go to the next menu I have listed here, which is my phone. That's the name of my phone, Elliot. My name is Verdier. It's not my real name, but that's the name I'm using today. In the menu for this, you can get things like your favorite contacts and your recent calls. Pretty basic stuff, but it's nice because you can pretty much at a fingertip, once your phone is connected via Bluetooth, you can just make telephone calls right here while driving without, being distracted. So something I also like about this car. All right, we've got navigation, phone. Now we're in audio. Audio system is off. Here you can choose things like FM, AM, Sirius XM, various USB ports that you have hooked up, your phone, etc., etc. It's pretty basic. When it is playing, it'll show you generally a picture. For instance, if you have metadata on your thumb drive, it'll show the picture of the album you're playing and what it's called, etc., etc. That will also pop up while you're driving, no matter what you're set up, just for a second to let you know. So if you skip to a next song, it'll pop up, say what the song is, and then it'll go back to whatever you have your menu set at before that. Next, we go down to your gauge only, which gives you just your gauge. You want to be bored? There's your gauge. You can also change speed, distant units. This is very weird. You see how it sits right over here, and it turns on a digital speedometer. The digital speedometer is wonderful. I wanted to have that. I had a Prius before this. I guess I'm getting kind of dumbed down. I can read a dial, but still, it's nice. But if you look closely, it's kilometers per hour. You can't change that to miles per hour. If you're in Canada, it says miles per hour. You can't change it to kilometers per hour. That is stupid, stupid, stupid. I don't know why they did that. I think it's something I hope they change in the computer. I'm going to see if I can turn that off. Yep, just shut that. And done. Very annoying aspect. Eco Drive. As you drive, the lines move up and down on both sides of it. You try to keep the lines even to keep the most economical drive. It's kind of silly, in my opinion. I don't see the use of it. I think it's more just to add something in there. To each his own. All right, next we're going to go to your power flow. It gives you the general flow of where your power is going in your car. Right now, there really is no power flow. The car is just pretty much just sitting here warming up, got hot air, and the engine is running. Therefore, I am eating gas. So be it. Next you got is fuel economy. This is also, in my opinion, generally a stupid menu. It's very hard to read because it doesn't give you very specifics. There's not much you can do to change it. There isn't much to this. It's just there. It's just there. It's stupid. I don't know why they have it. Just to fill in the space. We're going on. Speed and time. Something I don't generally use. Average speed, elapsed time you drive. I guess if you want to figure out how much you've been driving, what your average speed's been. Yep, I guess it's just more stuff. I put it also as filler. Traffic sign. Now, this is something very interesting. This car has a camera right up here. This camera basically watches for traffic signs. It's also part of your lane assist and so forth. It will pop up all the time while you're driving. right about here on your dash, it'll show you the speed limit of where you're driving. Basically something you can get from GPS. Assuming your GPS is up to date, it's usually right. It's relatively accurate. It'll pop the speed limit sign up there for about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes, and then it goes away. Basically, I guess to make sure, just in case it misses a speed limit sign, that it doesn't erroneously tell you the wrong speed limit. It's kind of cute. It's not always right. I can't tell you how many times I've been on Route 100 and it's told me my speed limit is 55, and then all of a sudden it's 100 because Route 100 is 100 miles per hour. I don't know. It's not perfect. It's okay. It's kitschy. It's cute. It is what it is. Here's if you want to put it right in here too. I don't know why they would add that, except, in my opinion, filler. Driving support. Driving support. Let's see what that... Oh, yeah. Well, this is when you've got your lane keep assist and your radar-controlled adaptive cruise control on. It'll show you how far cars are from you, which is kind of cute. You know, it's a little more detailed. All that shows up right here anyway when you turn on. In fact, let me turn on the lane keep, and there it is. Right in the center of that, you'll have a little car that'll appear if the radar sees a car. If not, it'll be a dotted outline of a car, etc. So, I guess if you want a bigger view of that, you can put that on. I don't see any use for it. Driver attention. Ha! This lets you know when you're driving like crap. If you're driving like crap, this thing will start yelling at you, giving you attitude, telling you need to go take a nap and chill out and have some coffee. It's even yelled at me for not having my hands completely on the steering wheel at all times. It doesn't do it often, but it does do it. Something you just have to get used to. I think I'm going to split this into multiple sections because I believe most people don't like these long YouTube videos, and I've never done YouTube. Kind of weird. All right, let's go on to the next one. We'll go home again. We've got maintenance. Basically going to tell you how long your oil's left. It's going to tell you what maintenance schedule you have. They have A, Bs. I think they might have more than that. Don't know. Not concerned, but it's nice. It'll tell you that. Apparently, it looks like this car gets an oil change every 10,000 miles. Ain't happening. I'm changing the oil at 5,000 mile intervals. I don't care what Honda says. I am not driving a car 10,000 miles without changing the oil. Thank you very much. And I'm rotating my tires every 5,000, not every 10,000. Thank you very much, Honda. I'm not listening to you on that one either. Safety and support. This is to turn on your safety systems. There's really no reason to go into this. You can do it all with the buttons on your steering wheel. You can go in here and turn it on too. I think it's more confusing than anything else. Moving on. And this will give you what warnings have popped up, usually like low fuel, you know, shut off your engine, it's about to explode, whatever stuff's going to come up. Only thing I've ever had show up on that is low fuel, so not important. Nice thing about this, I usually keep it on range and fuel. You can change the order, and you can even take off things that you don't want. That you can do in the main system. I will show you that later. There in the center, up in the top, you'll see ACC, which is adaptive cruise control. That's radar-controlled cruise control. And LCAS, lane keep assistance system. I love both of these in this car. This car responds differently than a lot of other cars that I've test driven. One thing it has is that when you're going about 40 to 45 miles per hour higher, if you look closely, it's kind of hard to see on the camera here, you'll see that the lines are not filled in. When they're filled in, it means that the camera sees both sides of the lines and you're getting lane keep assist. And you're getting lane keep adaptive, you know, whatever. The thing is, when it's like that, and while you're driving, as you go through turns, the steering wheel will try to keep you in the center of the lane, which means basically the car slightly steers itself. Some of the reviews have thrown a fit about this. I don't remember who. I love it. It makes my drive comfortable and easy. I got adaptive cruise control on. I got the car helping me steer. It just makes for an easy, comfortable drive. You can turn it off if you don't like it. I think it's wonderful. It's much better on highways. Unfortunately, this car, unlike my Ford Fusion Energy, it doesn't notice the lines on back roads as well. I mean, even though the lines are perfectly bright and everything, and it should notice them, it doesn't seem to want to notice them as much, and it tends to turn off and on, off and on. Very annoying. I wish it were a little bit more sensitive, a little bit better at it. It is what it is. Either way, You get this car, it will steer with you. And it's not so intrusive that it scares you. Sometimes, you know, if you're you got to turn off, you know, like you're going on a back road, and one road is turning off to the left, and so forth. Occasionally, it'll try to aim you more towards the left. It doesn't pull so hard that it scares you, makes you nervous. You just push against it, and it let go. It's wonderful. I don't care. You don't like it, turn it off. Fantastic comfort. Again, the next thing we have is our cruise control, the radar-controlled cruise control. This car's cruise control is a little bit different than some of the other ones that I've tested, and I really love it. Obviously, you set your cruise control just like you would normal. You get resume, cancel, set. You know, as you set your cruise control, of course, you can't do it now. You got to fasten your seat. Look at this. This thing will yell at you and tell you everything to do. You can't make a mistake with this car. The car will not let you, and it will chide you. It will chide you every time you make a mistake. Don't make mistakes. Honda doesn't like it when it happens. All right, let's go on. You set your cruise control. You go plus. If you hold it down, it jumps in increments of 5 miles per hour. Nice little plus there. Or you can just go plus and minus on normal. Once you set it, you're fine. As you drive, since we're not moving, and I can't move because I don't really have a setup for it, at least not a safe setup, there'll be a dotted line version of a car right about up here. It will fill in when the radar sees a car. When it sees it, it will keep distance based on how far you set your distance. There is a distance setting, this button right here. If you look up here, as I press it, it goes to different distance settings. It gets you closer, further. I don't remember exactly what the distance actual units are. Use it, and you'll see. Now, about the adaptive cruise control on this car. This car will literally follow other cars at a distance. You can drive at slow speeds, 35 miles per hour, set your cruise control, and as the cars slow down, it will slow down. As the cars stop at a stoplight, this car will stop and wait. Now, if the wait's only for like maybe 5 seconds, as soon as the other car moves forward, this car will immediately start moving forward again. However, if it's a little longer than that, you know, the light's a little longer, it will say stopped down there. That means when the traffic goes, you either tap your gas pedal or you hit your resume button right there. Then it just goes on to its normal speed. Cruise control basically has to be set at a minimum of 25 miles per hour, which is fine. Here is the big difference of most cars. Let's say you're driving 35 miles per hour, you got it set cruise control, and you come to a stoplight. You have no cars in front of you, so no adaptive cruise control, so the car didn't stop you. You stopped yourself with your brakes. You came to a full stop. There you are. Light turns green. On this car, you don't have to touch the gas pedal. All you have to do is hit your resume button, boom, and from a complete stop, this car will go right up to its full speed again. And the nice thing is, I mean, it'll keep its eye with the radar and everything, so it's not going to ram into cars. This is something I absolutely love about this car. It's fantastic. It makes driving so much easier. Now, some people may not like it. No other car that I found will actually do it from a complete stop. I'm sure there are others. I have not found any. No other car that I know of will do it. It's one of the reasons I love this car. This car is easy to drive. Comfort and easiness. It's also very comfortable to sit in. A lot of people, some people have complained that the seats are too low. I'm a 266-pound white mammal. I'm very large. I'm a fat guy. Getting in and out of this car, I have a bad back. I have diabetes, so I have a lot of neuropathy. It's very hard. This car is actually easy for me to get up. I don't know why. It's also very comfortable. And being this low, it's sporty feeling. Now, it's only 151 light horsepower, but it's sporty, and it's fun to drive. All right, I've already talked about the adaptive cruise control, and now you got a good idea how that works. We're going to do the last thing. I mean, here we'll just look at a few other things. You got your temperature, your how many miles on the car, and that little leaf there, which is essentially means I'm in an econo mode. I'm going to turn it off econ off, econ on. That just, what essentially makes it means your gas pedal doesn't respond quite as much, so you can't have as much a lead foot, so you don't burn as much gas, and you know, it helps you with the economy of the car to get you better gas mileage. I generally drive in economy most of the time. The last thing I'm going to do before I pause this and go on is I'm going to show you the wiper controls. Right now it's set to regular. You go down one and it goes to auto. The auto wipers on this car. My God, what am I to say? You can change how much it responds and so forth. The wipers are very weird on this car. This auto wiper system does not work all the best. It does work mostly, but it sometimes just goes nuts and starts swinging wildly at full speed when there's just a little bit of mist on the screen. And then sometimes it hardly works, and you have to keep changing it. Personally, I'd rather have intermittent wipers. Auto wipers, until Honda gets their act together, they bite on this car. They really do. It's one of the negatives of this car. I don't like it. My Ford Fusion has auto wipers. They're fantastic. They really are. Ford's got it right. Honda, go steal Ford's secret and fix your auto wipers. They really bite. It just is what it is. Really not much else to say on this. What we're going to do next is we're going to go to the main computer system, and we're going to talk about that next on the next video. I'm going to pause this, stop it, whatever, and we're going to save it. And hope it saves. Never done this before. And I hope you're finding this interesting and helpful. At least give you a more detailed look in some of the stuff it does. Of course, if you have any questions, you can reach me at Verdier, VERDIER, at gmail.com. Actually, it's Verdier400. See how stupid I am? Verdier400 at gmail.com. Or you can leave a comment at the bottom. I don't generally read comments. I've never been there. Never done this YouTube stuff as far as recording. So we'll see how it goes. All right, we're done with that. I'm long-winded. We'll go on to the next video.